The home elevation is the structural exterior design of the house, of the front, the side, and the back of the house. Do you know that home elevation can play a significant role in the optimization of your solar panel placements? In this video, I'll be discussing the different types of home elevations, their pros and cons, and how to optimize the different types to get the maximum number of solar installed on your house. Welcome to my channel. If this is the first time you are joining, I'm happy to have you here. And for all my returning subscribers, thank you for tuning in again. The first type of home elevation, which is the most common type, is the eave roof. The eave roof has 4 slopes. Usually they have a lot of triangular faces. The 4 sides could be equal in length and meet at the top, and some could have like a line if it's kind of a longer house. But the idea of an eave roof is it forms a ridge. It's usually very sturdy and has very sloping sides which drains easily, keeping the roof dry, which is a benefit. However, because it has a lot of triangular faces and solar panels currently are rectangular, like in the future there might be other designs of solar panels, but for now, if you're going to be installing the regular modules which are rectangular, having a eave roof could limit the number of panels you could install. If you have a longer house or a bigger house where you still have like a rectangular piece with the eave at the edges, you might still be able to fit enough panels in it. If you are in the process of designing your house for a new construction, it's good to consider the home elevation that will help you install as much solar panel as you need to obtain a net zero house. For many people with eave roof, because there's only so much rectangle you can place in the triangular faces, it limits the number of solar panels they could install. Not that they still cannot install solar panels, but they might not have enough square foot on the roof space to power their house 100% and be totally net zero. The next type of roof elevation is gabled roof. The gabled roof is a very common roof style. Gabled roofs are great at draining water, snow, or debris, and they have a wide rectangular face. My roof is a gabled roof. It's a simple design, and you can actually modify it in a way that it looks modern. As you can see in the picture, a gabled roof can be merged, like it can join at the top, and there could be an angle like slanted a little and modified in a way that it still looks very modern and fun while preserving a lot of the rectangular faces. For homeowners who are going with the modern look and feel in their home elevation, a gabled roof would work well. The next type of roof elevation is the flat roof. The flat roof is very common in ultra-modern houses and sometimes apartment complexes. Ultra-modern houses have flat roof and have this parapet at the edges, and it looks nice. A flat roof is usually having pitch below 1.5 degrees, like it's almost at zero. Once it's more than 1.5 degrees, I think it doesn't like technically qualify as a flat roof. The flat roof is usually cheaper to install compared to pitch roof, although if you want to make it more modern and put a parapet around, we are not going into the architectural, that might kind of take away the cost saving of the flat roof. It provides a lot of usable space. However, flat roof can be very difficult to maintain because of drainage issues. For solar panels, it wouldn't work well to lay panels just flat on the roof. So to install solar panels on a flat roof, usually they will be installed as if it's a ground mount system, so they will have the metal bracket holding it up at the preferred angle. The benefit of that is you can have the roof tilted exactly as the azimuth angle of the city where you live in, which is the best angle to put the roof. But because it's like you're installing metal bracket onto the roof, what the structural impact would be, that would be something you have to discuss with the structural engineer, and if they will be able to install brackets on it to hold the solar panels up. Another disadvantage of the flat roof is, if you have solar installed like at an angle there, now you have rain or snow falling down. If you don't really have a ridge or a way to direct that water, that pressure at that particular angle might have an impact on the roof. So if you're having a flat roof, it's something that other modification might need to be made to it to make it work. In my video where I shared the impact of snow on solar production, I will be posting the research in the description as well. You will see that solar panels installed on flat roof, if they are installed flat on the roof like that, will generate less electricity than solar panels installed at an angle. Solar panel perform best, especially if they match the angle, the azimuth of that city, on the Earth's map. So flat roof is not the best. You won't get the best performance, although you won't have to bother about the direction of the sun. But because the angle of incline can affect the production, you will still lose some production. So if you have a flat roof and it's an existing house and you want to install solar panel on it, if you have a lot of space, you might be able to install more modules to be able to make up for what you would have lost because it's not at the right incline. Another type of roof elevation is the mansard roof. The mansard roof is a modified version of the hip roof. It's used to create a bigger usable attic space under the roof. It's sometimes referred to as a cob roof or a French roof. It has different types of slope on all four sides. As you can see in the picture, some of the slope will be gentle, some other slope are steep and almost vertical, and some could even have a dormer window on the side. Because mansard roof has too many things going on, it's a great design, but the different angles might require the installers to really have to calculate what goes where, right? So if mansard roof is your style, I think factoring in the side of the house that will be facing south to make sure it has as much square feet as possible and having the right slope in that would be a great idea, so that whatever you get in that face might have taken you far in the number of panels you need to install. The more intricate the design of the roof, the more difficulty it would be during installation. Another type of roof design is dormer, and it could be any type of roof that has dome, like from the name, like have some vertical windows on the roof, usually like a attic room or a space. This is very common in European countries like the UK. This roof style can be any type. It can be a gable roof, it can be a hip roof, whenever there is a dome on the side. So for a dormer roof, as long as your dome is not in the south, well, which wouldn't be a great idea because the room in that dome space would be too hot. As long as the dormer is not on the south, it wouldn't affect you so much, because if you're able to use as much of the square foot of the south, if the dormer is on or any other side of the house, whatever you can install on the sides would work. The sixth type of roof elevation I'll be discussing is the shed roof. This is a type of flat roof at a higher pitch than normal. A shed roof only has one slope. Some houses could have a whole shed roof, but when it's a bigger house with a shed roof, it drains well, but sometimes it could look off. But each to their own, different design styles and what appeals to people. Many times, as you can see in the picture, shed roof works better as an extension. You have a part of the house for wider houses, have a part of the house with a different roof design, and have a shed roof on the side. This is a beautiful design. If the house is designed in a way that the orientation has the shed roof facing the south, that would be perfect, because you wouldn't have any of the vent and stuff. Usually there are dryer vents and bathroom vents coming up on the roof in North America in the house designs. So if you have a shed roof like attached on the side of the house, usually because it will be lower, it's not going to have any vent protruding from it. If it faces the south, that might be all you need to power your house. It's a very great design. Because the shed is just one slope, you could calculate the slope of the shed to match the azimuth of the city you are in. For example, in Edmonton, the azimuth is 53 degrees. So if you have a shed roof that you can put at 53 degrees, or something closer like a 45-degree angle or a 12-12, like those who use 112, 212 for a 12-12 angle on a shed roof attached to your house, that would be the perfect angle. It will get the snow out quickly, get the rainwater to flow off quickly, and maximize the amount of sunlight that the solar panels are exposed to, which will mean very great amount of energy generation from that design. The final type of roof design that I'll be talking about today is my favorite, is the butterfly roof. I didn't have a butterfly roof in my house because we live in a neighborhood where there is community guidelines, so I went with the gable. But the butterfly roof has a V-shaped feature that looks like an inverted gable. A gable slopes outwards, but the butterfly roof slopes inward. The valley of the butterfly roof can be positioned in such a way that it slopes, that it will gather rainfall and direct it to a desired destination. For me, that's also another benefit if you want to be collecting rainwater for your garden or for wetting your flowers and stuff like that. It also has that environmental benefit. The butterfly roof is also aesthetically pleasing. It's beautiful because it can be used in a variety of ways to increase the number of windows and natural light that enters into the home. It's basically like two gable, facing the opposite direction. In this kind of design, however, to get the best out of it, it will be best to angle it in such a way that the inner side of the butterfly faces the south on the opposite end. With the gable, you have to make sure you are sloping outwards towards where the south is, but this one will be sloping inward towards where the south is. And because the butterfly roof can be designed at an angle that matches your azimuth, that's also another beautiful features. So on the exterior, the eaves are usually inward and not outward, so not having eaves on the aisles also is another modern beautiful feature for people who likes it. So if you live in an area that there's no architectural restriction on how you are supposed to have your home elevation, and you like the butterfly roof for all the other modern features it has, and you love a lot of beautiful windows that it feels like you can bring in nature all around you, because the window can be floor to ceiling. If you have trees and everything, it feels you are outdoor while still indoor. Is a beautiful match. Then butterfly roof can be used to your benefit. Otherwise, the second two types of elevation that would also help you to maximize as much solar panels on your roof is the gable and the shed. It depends. For the shed roof, it's very good, but it depends on how wide your house and how wide the shed could be. And the gable is just something that you can make work in most situations. If you already have an existing house, whatever you have is what you work with, obviously. But if you have the opportunity of designing your house, it's a great idea to think about the type of elevation you are going to choose, so that later on down the line, let's say you need 40 solar panels on your roof to give you a net zero house, you wouldn't be limited because you have chosen a design that limits the amount of roof square feet you have. I hope this video has been helpful in discussing the impact of roof elevation and solar installation down the line. If you are an homeowner that have installed solar panels on your house, please share your roof type, and if there's any challenges you faced in having as many panels as you want, feel free to share and we can discuss this. But if you are still in the design phase, I think you should really consider this, so that you have a home exterior that meets your aesthetics design as well as helps you to have a net zero. Thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.